Good morning, students. I welcome you all to the next video session class. Today also we are going to discuss the same lesson, that is nationalism in India. Okay, let us move into the subject. First slide that I have given here, it shows the picture through which you can understand that how the participation of the women in the civil disobedience movement has been picturized here. You please look at the picture very carefully. Right, next. Participation of some important groups in the movement. So different social groups participated in the civil disobedience movement for different ideals or reasons. So meaning of the Swaraj was different for different social group. Okay, in what sense? Let me explain. The first thing, in the countryside, rich and peasant communities like Patidas of Gujarat, the Jats of Uttar Pradesh were enthusiastic supporters of the civil disobedience movements. So these two groups participated vigorously. And second, as depression continued, the poor peasantry found it difficult to pay their rent to the landlords. So they have joined variety of radical movements, often led by socialist and communist. Thirdly, association like Indian Industrial and Commercial Congress and Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries, under the leadership of Birla, Purushottam Thakur, Das, etc., supported the civil disobedience movement in the hope that the business restriction would be lifted. And as far as the industrial working class participation in this civil disobedience movement is concerned, it was not huge. Their participation was very minimal. Another important feature of this movement was large scale participation of the women. As I explained in that previous slide picture, in urban areas women came from high caste families. In rural areas women came from rich peasant household. So women were inspired by Gandhiji's call, and they ultimately began to see service to the nation. What they thought, service to the nation as their sacred duty. Okay, we'll move to the next slide. The limitation of the civil disobedience. All social groups were not moved by the concept of Swaraj. Okay, one such group was untouchable, who began to call themselves Dalit. That terminology of Dalit was coined in the around 1930s. And the Muslims also could not relate to this movement. For a long time, the Congress had ignored the Dalits for the fear of offending the Sanatanis. Sanatanis means the conservative high caste community of Hindus. Gandhiji called Dalits as a Harijan, means the children of God. So Gandhiji believed that Swaraj would not come even for 100 years if untouchables was not eliminated. So he organized Satyagraha for them to secure their entry into temples and access to the public wells, tanks, roads and schools. So Gandhiji himself cleaned the toilets to dignify the work of the sweepers. So by the way of doing so, Gandhiji urged the upper class people to change their mindset regarding the untouchables. And Dalit leaders wanted a different political solution to the problem of their community. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar demanded the reserved seats in educational institution and electorate. He also organized the Dalit into Depressed Class Association in 1930. His views differed from Mahatma Gandhi. When the British government admitted Ambedkar's demand, Gandhi strongly opposed it and began fast unto death because Gandhiji believed that separate electorate for Dalit would slow down the process of their integration into the main society. So Ambedkar ultimately accepted the Gandhiji's position, and as a result Pune Pact of September 1932 was signed. As per that pact, it gave the depressed class reserved seats in provincial and central legislative council, but they were to be voted in by the general election. And some of the Muslims political organization in India rarely participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay. Next. After the decline of non-cooperation and Khilafat movement, a large section of the Muslims felt separated from the Congress. Why? Because the Congress came to be more visibly associated with the Hindu nationalist group like Hindu Mahasabha. As the relation between Hindus and Muslims worsened, Hindu-Muslim communal clashes and riots occurred in various cities. In 1930s, Sir Muhammad Iqbal, the president of Muslim League, demanded the importance of separate electorates for Muslim. He thought it would safeguard their minority political interest. The Congress and Muslim League made efforts to talk again for unity. In 1927, it appeared that such a unity could be possible. The only difference between Congress and Muslim League was on the representation in the future assembly. And Muhammad Ali Jinnah of Muslim League was willing to give up the demand for separate electorates for two conditions. First one, Muslims were assured reserved seats in the Central Assembly. Second, representation would be in proportion to the population in Muslim dominated provinces, example Bengal and Punjab. So, but the issue was not resolved. Why? Because due to the strong opposition of the Hindu Mahasabha that was led by M.R. Jayakar. Okay. So, here you can understand the difference between Hindu Mahasabha and Muslim League over the matter of separate electorate, over the matter of reservation concept, which somewhat created the difference of opinion between the Hindus and Muslim leaders as well as the Indian National Congress and Muslim League. Okay. So here the notable point is this concept was opposed by Hindu Mahasabha. Right, next. The sense of collective belonging. Nationalist movement spread when people belonged to different regions and communities began to develop a sense of collective belongingness. So it developed through the experience of united struggle. Many cultural processes also contributed to it. What are the factors? History, fiction, folklore, songs, popular prints and symbols all played a part in the making of nationalism. It was seen in India during its freedom movement in the following ways. First one, the identity of nation is the most often symbolized in a figure or image. So what was the image? This image of Bharat Mata was first created by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyaya in 1870 when he wrote Vande Mataram for our motherland. Later, this song was included in his novel. What was his novel? That is Anand Mata, that was widely sung by the freedom fighters during the freedom struggle. Next. The Bharat Mata was first painted by the Abindranath Tagore. Indian folk songs, folk tales sung by wandering poet, which played an important role for making the idea of nationalism. In Bengal, Rabindranath Tagore, in Madras, Natesha Shastri collected the massive collection of folk tales and songs which led the movement for folk revival. Okay. So during the Swadeshi movement, a tricolor flag was designed in Bengal. It had 8 lotuses representing 8 provinces and a crescent moon which representing the Hindus and Muslims. By 1921, Gandhiji had designed the Swaraj flag, which is one among the important question, one mark question. It was a tricolor having a spinning wheel in the center which representing the Gandhian ideal of self-help. Okay. So another means of creating feeling of nationalism was explaining the meaning of history. So the nationalist writers urged the readers to take pride in India's great achievements in the past and struggle to change the miserable conditions of life under British rule. But unification of people involved some problems. What was the problem? When the past was being glorified, was predominantly Hindu, and the images celebrated were most probably taken from the Hindu iconography. Here the problem lied. So the people, what the rest of the community people thought, the people of the other communities felt left out. Why? Because so much of importance were given only through the Hindu mythology, Hindu based ideology. As I mentioned, most of the images, especially the highly popularized celebrated images that were taken only from the Hindu iconography. So obviously there might be a chance for the other people, other communities people to felt left out. Okay, next. Finally we come to the conclusion. Struggle, a growing anger. That is a growing anger against the colonial government brought together various groups and classes of Indians into a common struggle for freedom in the first half of the 20th century. However, different expectations of diverse groups pose a constant threat to unity. The Congress, under the sacred soul, the leadership of Mahatma Gandhiji, who tried to channel people's suffering into united movement for independence of our great nation. Okay, dear students, we have successfully completed this chapter. I hope you must have understood all the concepts that we discussed for the past 4 classes. So I request kindly go through the book line by line so that you can understand the subject better. Thank you students. Have a nice day.